I really do believe that one of the more interesting aspects about Star Wars Episode 9 that really fascinates me has all to do with Rey's lineage and her identity in this movie by JJ. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing that a lot of fans, including myself, are very interested in has all to do with Rey's identity in this film. Now, we do know that JJ Abrams is changing up certain elements of the character and will be giving her a very important lineage in this movie. Now, these past couple of months or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. One of which has all to do with a major hint and/or indicator of Rey's actual identity in Episode 9. Specifically, a description of Rey inside of a cave that appears to be another Jedi temple. She is standing on what appears to be a mosaic, very similar to the first Jedi, seen on Octo 2. The next describes what Rey hears, voices of ObiWan Kenobi, and that it's a set of dialogue, very important to her lineage for the plot. It's described as a moment of gaining knowledge of many truths about herself. Another describes Rey now seeing an apparition of Obi-Wan in the distance, talking to her. The Obi-Wan apparition is standing on a large boulder that puts Obi-Wan around 8 feet above her, and talking down to her, giving her a valuable piece of information about her lineage. So I really want to go over a couple of pieces about this that really do raise my interest here about Rey's lineage and her identity in this movie. Now, I think that judging from this sequence in what's being described here, I think it's most definitely dwindled down to two big possibilities. Is that either A, she is tied to the first Jedi. Now, you guys may recall seeing the first Jedi mosaic on, of course, the first Jedi temple in Octo 2. Now, what's really intriguing about The Last Jedi is that we didn't really get to learn too much about the first Jedi himself. Now, it's possible that maybe that Rey is a clone of the first Jedi or a descendant of the first Jedi for all we know. She could very well be a distant relative to that character. Another thing here is that why is she hearing voices of Obi-Wan Kenobi and seeing the Force ghost of Obi-Wan in the distance on top of a large boulder? Again, it seems as so that JJ Abrams is once again trying to reintroduce Obi-Wan Kenobi into the overall story of the final film of the Skywalker saga to wrap up the entire story for all of our different characters like Anakin, Obi-Wan, and even Luke Skywalker. But why would Rey hear voices of Obi-Wan Kenobi in this particular sequence? Now again, like I say, in The Force Awakens, you do hear Obi-Wan talking to Rey. You know, specifically to Rey, where he says, "Rey, these are your first steps," which is a major callback to what Obi-Wan told Luke in Star Wars A New Hope in a different way. So if we actually do examine, JJ Abrams' plan for the character of Rey, we do know that he really wants to introduce a lot of twists and turns in this movie that are not only going to change our perception on The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens, but also the original trilogy. And what better way to change our perception on the original trilogy than to have, let's say for example, Obi-Wan Kenobi being Rey's grandfather? Then at that point, if that does end up being in the film, we are going to look at A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, and The Empire Strikes Back in a totally different way, absolutely. So the other thing here, like I say, and like I have said before, is the first Jedi Temple. Now, we do know that the first Jedi Temple is a big deal on the planet Octo 2. And we also know that Kylo Ren, the First Order, Snoke, they were all after it because of what it actually held. It actually holds a lot of information, such as the books and whatnot, and Rey has those books right now. So it's very much possible that those books led her to this new Jedi temple that also has a first Jedi mosaic on the ground that she is standing on top of. So it seems as so that JJ Abrams is toying around with the idea of tying the character of Rey to either the first Jedi or Obi-Wan Kenobi. Again, I'm very interested in why she's hearing his voice and why she's seeing the apparition of Obi-Wan. Not just in Episode 9, but also in Star Wars The Force Awakens. There's definitely a reason as to why JJ pulled Ewan McGregor into the studio for one day at short notice, and had him record a line or two quickly just like that, and it was an important piece for sure. So let me know what you guys think about all of this below. What do you think is really going on here when it comes to Rey's lineage and her identity in this movie? Personally, I think that if they do make her identity to that extent very significant like that of her being related to Kenobi, I think that's a great idea. I know that some of you guys out there think it's a terrible idea. That's perfectly fine and okay. Everybody has their opinions. But I think that tying her to either Luke or Obi-Wan is probably the best way to go, not only to explain why she's so powerful, but to also make her feel more important in the story by being connected to one of the legacy characters. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No hiding. From night to moon, we hear them moans again.